I've been running this solo. I've been on my dollar. Everybody acting like they know me, but they don't know. I've been on go-mo, never in slow-mo. I only come in second to my GoPro. Losing, that's a no-no. Losing, that's a no-no.
All right, let's talk sports in foster care, right? Definitely something I want to cover. I'm a huge in sports. I went to college playing sports. I was a hell of an athlete when I was younger. I may say so myself, but a couple things I want to talk about, man. So one thing I noticed when I was younger is I was always looked out as a show off, right? Like my coaches tend to not give me awards and stuff like that because they see me as this guy always showing off. One of the things that one of my coaches told me, this is when I was in high school. I remember when there was 3 awards that I thought I should have got for football, and I didn't get any of them. Actually, my backup got one of my awards, which I had nothing against him. Great guy, smart kid, very good kid. But defensively got one of my awards, and I felt really put off. Then I went to then they elected me in an All-Star game, and my coach told me, hey, you were my last vote. I got you into the All-Star game. Like, you got to do a good job, which I felt extremely offended about because I thought I should have been the first person in the All-Star game. And then I went to the All-Star game and scored the first touchdown that our school has ever scored in the All-Star game. And it was a deep touchdown at that. And it was one of the standout players of the All-Star game. So I felt really offended, but it took a while before I understood that he just doesn't understand me. And like, I understand that most people don't. And maybe that's why you need to understand. People need to see the other side of it. So he thought I was a show off. And one of the things he said to me was, one of the things that aggravates me is every time you do something great, you always look towards the crowd and you celebrate with the crowd, but you don't celebrate with your team. What kind of leader is that? I thought about that. But you know what? One thing I wasn't able to articulate at the time that I can now, that I wish I was able to say to him now is, you don't understand what I'm looking at on a daily basis, right? Think about it like this. Every day, every one of my teammates goes home. They are the number one player in their house. Every day. They go home, their parents look at them, whether they got sisters and brothers, and they are loved. They are the number one player in that house, period. Number one player in the house. Every day I go home to a group home with 10 or more kids in it, where I'm just a number, no different than anybody else. So the only time I get to shine, the only time I stand out is on that field. So when I score that touchdown, when I run that 60-yard breakaway, when my teammates jump for joy, when the crowd stands up, that's my time to shine. It's the only time I get to shine where anybody will acknowledge me. And I wasn't a dumb kid. I went home. I got good grades in school. I mean, literally, I was on the honor roll, everything, man. Like, I was that guy. I had a hard core, but I was an intelligent kid. But unfortunately for me, and for a lot of the kids that I was in the home with, that just wasn't our story. We wasn't that I couldn't be that person. So really what he didn't understand was when I scored that touchdown and that crowd was going crazy, all of those parents were here to see their child play. But I knew, because I knew some of those parents, and the rest of them knew who I was, even though I may not have known them, this was my time to shine. So for this one moment, I'm playing this game so everybody can see me. So I'm not just a number, so that I stand out, so everybody can look at me and be proud of something that I did. So to my teammates, to me, I was that guy that when you look at me, I was for the gully. I was always ready. I was always going to be tough man minded. Didn't matter. When I got out on that field, I was the best player in my mind regardless. And I was going to be the best player. So if they wanted me to be the fastest person on the field, that's who I was going to be. If they wanted to make sure we didn't have a deep threat, that's who I was going to be. If my quarterback said, I'm launching this thing long, you're going for the deep ball, I was going to catch it. I was going to outrun anybody to the end zone. That's who I was going to be, because I wanted the crowd to stand up. I wanted to shine. I wanted my time. So after the first time I ever did anything good in sports, I was addicted from that point on. Anyone that knows me knows I was a sports fanatic. Everything and anything I touched, I wanted to be the best at. But it was because I wasn't getting that attention. I wanted that attention. It was amazing to have people give a shit about me. So for me, being that guy that was standing out on the field was everything to me. But my coaches didn't understand that. They thought I was just trying to be a show off. He's just another show off. But what they didn't get is when I go home, I'm just a number. So when I get that opportunity to show out, I'm going to do it. 100% of the time, I want to be the guy to show out and show off. I want everybody on their feet. I want everybody excited. I want to be the man, so that tomorrow when the announcements come on, they talking about me. And that's what I wanted. That's what I lived for and I loved. But to them, they just saw it as, this kid's just a show off. He just wants to be prime time. But they didn't understand why. So I did get ripped, I felt like, for a lot of awards. I didn't get the notoriety I felt like I could have. You know, they didn't want to go to bat for me because they didn't understand that this was all coming from somewhere. If I can't be the guy at home, why can't I be that person on the field? This is the person I want to be. I understand it's a team sport. I understand there's a lot of team sports out there. But I'm standing out to be that guy. I want to be that guy. Put all of the burden on my shoulders and let me shoulder it. But I don't think, you know, and that's not a shot. That's not a shot at my coaches, man. They, a lot of them generally wanted to see the best for me, but they just didn't understand where that drive was coming from. And I'm one of those people that believe if you can harness what somebody's drive is, and you can focus in on that, you can make that person become the greatest then they're going to be. So hopefully you guys understand what it's like to be a child doing sports in foster care. Besides that, I am Mac. You are watching Let's Talk TV. And until next time, I'll see you then.
I've been running this so long. I've been on my dollar.